You want to sit down there, but then you can't see me.
You scared me. I thought that was the dog. Hi, I'm Apollo. That's when you introduce yourself.
I'm Elsa.
And today we'll be reviewing Dunkirk. We just saw the movie and then we walked to our house. We saw it with some other people. Here's a clip of that.
Big down madness, chaos in the brain.
Overview, what did you think of the movie?
I actually thought it was very good because it was raw.
It was raw?
It was extremely raw. Like, there was
Explain.
It was very raw because war is a very sensitive topic, whatever, and like you can never like get to that kind of like sensitivity. Like acting can't get that far, but they did.
My blood flow, make my blood flow through you, man. You got no business questioning a thing.
It was weird because the acting performances were really good, but the guys like barely talked.
Yeah.
And it was just...
That's because they wanted like the whole entire field to set in. They didn't want them to talk because like they could speak without having words, kind of thing.
Initial thoughts for me, I thought the movie was pretty great. To me, I actually think that's the best movie of the year so far.
It brought more audiences, but it also brought an awareness to a lot of people what World War II was, and I'm a huge World War II
I saw
fanatic,
a clip.
so...
I'm gonna have to show you it, but there was a clip of a army soldier who was in that Dunkirk place, and he was there, and he was after the movie, the news that was there to interview him, he was crying.
Yeah.
Cause he's I'll show you I'll enter the clip here.
Ken Sturdy just watched the premiere of Dunkirk in Calgary. He was only 20 years old, a signalman with the Royal Navy helping evacuated soldiers reach waiting boats from the chaos on the beach.
I never thought I would see that again. It was just like I was there again.
So, okay, top 3 things about the movie that you liked.
I like the acting. I like that they actually had all of the artifacts right because other movies can't do that. Not even kidding you.
At other movies.
I liked how they didn't talk.
If it doesn't get nominated and if it doesn't win for
I'm gonna
best
cry
sound,
if it doesn't.
well, yeah, in general.
I'm gonna
but
cry if it
at the
doesn't.
Oscars, if it doesn't win best sound editing, Oscars, you're flawed. I think that movies sometimes they kind of quiet down with a gun. Cause have you ever heard a gunshot? Like,
yes. I know
they're
you
loud.
have. I know you have definitely with Jaime Game.
Please don't shoot us. No, but
Get over
yeah,
property.
Gunshots are loud. They are loud. Even if it's like a pistol, it's really loud. And I think the movie, usually with movies when you hear gunshots, it's like a nothingness. It's like very
like
quiet.
a little minute thing.
But with this movie, it was
Hear it.
loud.
Like, oh my god, when the Germans were coming in to bomb, the bombers, whatever, it was so loud. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I thought my eardrums were gonna bleed, whatever. But it made it so real. So, like, creds to Christopher Nolan again for that, because he made it very real.
Cinematography. Let's talk about that. I kept note throughout the whole movie. Every single shot every single just frame looked beautiful.
It was very natural.
The color grading made it look very natural. Good job to the grading team, because that was amazing. Let's talk about Harry Styles and his acting.
That was really good.
Yo,
it was so good.
He is one of the few people who can act, be a musician.
And an artist.
It's great. He's not, and I was telling this to Elsa and my other friends earlier, that he's not one of those people who are
I don't have to try because I'm famous.
Yeah, the mindset is, I don't have to try to act because I'm famous and no one will care about it. He actually put effort into it.
Exactly, and it turned out amazing.
Even though he's not even a really major part in the movie.
He's a secondary character. His name was Alex, or whatever.
And
he kind of just followed Fiona everywhere.
He was very good. Things you didn't like.
Things I didn't like about it?
But the things that I disliked are very, very minimal. The bad things are toppled by the good things in it. Cinematography, sound editing.
Well, I didn't like this thing, but it's like considered life, whatever. Like the pilot at the ending, you know, when he lands and the Germans just come and take him. I'm like, you made a happy ending for everyone else. Why can't you just give him a happy ending? Kind of thing. Like, you know, I felt really bad about that.
One thing that I didn't necessarily dislike, but it's new and I'm not used to it, so probably that kind of just set me off. Not set me off. It kind of just tipped me off a little bit. Is the timeline aspect.
Oh, in the beginning where they said the mole and all that. Yeah.
For those
you
of
guys
you-
were asking me about that because you didn't understand it.
For those of you who don't know, in the movie there's 3 stories going on. One takes place in a week, one takes place in an hour, and one takes place in a day. And as the 3 stories progress, you see what you previously saw with the other stories.
Yeah.
And that kind of like set me off. It kind of like tipped me off a little bit because I couldn't tell what was happening when. But as you watch the movie and as you progress through the movie, you see, oh, this is when that happened. And
Yeah,
this
and
is
you
when that
understand
happened.
more. Like the mole, like the ships, like when ships took all the people out and whatever, that took a week. And then the flight, that took an hour, like, you know, to like shoot down all the Germans, whatever, you know, they didn't shoot them all.
There's a
And
scene
then-
where the aircraft fighter is going through the air, and they see everyone in, like, remember that boat where the oil was all over them and the holes were shooting?
Oh no!
The holes were shooting through?
I hated that.
You didn't watch that part yet. So you see the aircraft and a bunch of people coming out of a boat and swimming away. And you're like, what? What was that all about? And then further into the film you see, oh, that's what that was about.
Yeah. That was one thing though. It was kind of like everywhere because he was telling 3 different stories at the same time at different times. So like you would see something and be like, what's that? Okay, and then like right at the ending, all of a sudden they're gonna explain what that was. Whatever. So like I feel like if he just kind of threaded it all in together somehow, it would have been a lot better. And it would, like, for some people who don't understand it, whatever, they would get it.
A lot of people are gonna dislike the movie because of that. They're gonna like, oh no.
And they're like, why is it everywhere? Why
I
is it
was really
everywhere?"
confused because of the stuff. It's a really innovative way of trying to like tell a story, but for people who are there just to watch the movie for
For people
entertainment
who are there
value,
basically for Harry Styles. And
yeah,
whatever.
they're not gonna understand what's
Yeah.
happening. Another little nitpicky thing, and it's like very small again compared to the other stuff, is the beginning when there was text showing up. I liked how it went from black screen to the what was happening.
Oh, when they're talking about what's happening in Dunkirk and then we need a miracle, whatever.
Yeah, it was black screen film, and then black screen film,
Oh,
black
yeah,
screen film.
the walking through.
And the text was lined, this is so nitpicky, but the text was lined up, bam, 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 bam. And as you went it was the first one, film, but then the first one was still there and the next one would show up. And that kind of confused me. It's so nitpicky. But the text would show up, film. The third text would show up and the last 2 texts were still there.
Yeah.
And that kind of just like, wait, what? I don't know what I'm reading. I think I would have liked it a little better if they centered the text that was there. So like, America, Germany, blah 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 blah, all
They
invaded
didn't
Dunkirk,
include America, it was just the
Yeah.
French and the British.
and then
The Germans.
film, and then another text, but without the last one. And
Yeah. So like one at a time.
One at a time, so I know what I don't have to keep looking. It was, and they needed a miracle was kind of cheesy.
It was historically correct, which I like that because
Historically correct, cough, cough, other
Correct.
movies, cough, cough. I'll put like a poster of Wonder Woman.
it was historically correct because yes, they had all the right artillery, all the right uniforms, stuff like that. Like the planes. Yes, the planes were correct because I get upset because there are other movies where they mix up World War I and World War II, and can't take that.
Elsa is obsessed with the war artifacts. We went to a museum in New
Yeah.
York together, and there was like a weapons exhibit, and she was there for a good 30 minutes just studying everything.
Reading everything and saying, I know where that's from.
Dunkirk, out of 10, what would you give it?
I say it's like an 8 or 9.
I would say
Honestly, I think it was pretty close to being.
strong 7 to light 8. Dunkirk, it was pretty good. Have you seen it? Oscars, you better do a good job.
Please let them win something because they deserve it.
I'll probably make a video explaining how the Oscars do their vote stuff, so I can explain why La La Land didn't win.
Why is everyone asking me why I didn't invite them?
Okay, so you know what happened?
No. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye.
Ready for it. Ready for it.